The case of a missing Massachusetts woman has gotten more disturbing. Prosecutors now say that blood and a knife were found in the basement of Anna Walsh's home. Walsh was last seen early on New Year's Day and was reported missing on Wednesday. This new information came during a hearing just a short time ago for her husband. Brian Walsh is charged with misleading investigators, and CNN's Bryn Gingras is joining us now with more details on this. So, Bryn, a lot has come out today. Get us up to speed on the latest.
Yeah, Abby, so the assistant district attorney there in Norfolk County sort of laying out the instances where they say Brian Walsh lied about his whereabouts surrounding the disappearance of his wife, Anna Walsh, around New Year's Day. Now, if I could back up for a second for your viewers and explain that Brian Walsh was actually on pre-probation sentencing for a fraud incident that goes back to 2018. He pled guilty to. So as part of that, he was supposed to always be checking in with authorities on his whereabouts. And it seems that that's how investigators were able to tell that he was lying about those whereabouts. And there are a number of instances that came out in court today, but one that really sticks out is he told investigators that he was going to take one of his sons out for ice cream, and instead, it appears, he went to a Home Depot. I want you to hear from the assistant district attorney about what he was doing there.
He's on surveillance at that time, purchasing about $450 worth of cleaning supplies. That would include mops, bucket, tops, T-Vex, drop cloths, as well as various kinds of tape.
And actually, we just got the criminal complaint from that court hearing, and it goes into a little bit more detail about that visit to Home Depot. It says that he was wearing a black surgical mask, blue surgical gloves, and making a cash purchase, as you heard, $450 worth of cleaning supplies. You also mentioned a bloody knife was found in the basement of their home, as well as blood stains. He is not tied to this murder just yet, but a lot of coming out in court today, Abby. He is being held behind bars, and he'll be back in court on this particular charge, at least in February.
All right, Bryn Gingras, thank you so much for that update.
Let's speak now to former senior FBI profiler and former FBI Special Agent Mary Ellen O'Toole. Mary, so some new details we just got in court. He bought $450 in cleaning supplies the day after she disappeared, and that a knife with blood on it was found. I wonder, listen, innocent until proven guilty, but you're a profiler. When you look at these details here, what's your reaction?
Well, that certainly would elevate any interest in the husband, and of course, all of that physical evidence would have to be analyzed to confirm that it's her blood on the knife. And cleaning supplies are often used in cases, and people think that they can clean up blood or other physical evidence that is left behind. That's not true. So if they can confirm that they do have a scene, they have a scene where she was hurt or murdered, and they can confirm it's her, then that certainly elevates the interest in him.
There are a lot of things that are odd here. So number one, apparently she was supposed to return to work on January 3rd, but apparently there was a work emergency. That's why she was going back to Washington, D.C., or going to Washington, D.C., supposed to go earlier. And there are questions about whether or not she actually got in a rideshare car early in the morning on the 1st to go to the airport. Authorities aren't really confirming that detail. Does that strike you as surprising?
It strikes me as surprising because they should be able to, if it occurred, they should be able to confirm the Uber or the taxi or some other rideshare that picked her up. So they probably have that information, but they're not releasing it because that would be easy to confirm.
Tell us about next steps in an investigation like this. What will they do with regards both to the husband here, but also in terms of investigating the disappearance itself?
Well, one of their priorities is obviously to try to find, if she's dead, to try to find her body. And in fact, they have been doing that. But it's a pretty difficult situation to just have searchers out there with dogs trying to look in a location where a human body may or may not be. So probably at this point what they're doing, if he's not talking to them, is they're talking to other people that are close to the family, other people that may have other information. And of course, if the husband has transported her someplace, they'll be searching the car for all sorts of physical evidence.
Still so many questions at this point. Mary Ellen O'Toole, always appreciate your insight. Thank you.